United States.
Thank
And
you.
would you be upstanding and give us toast? They're here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Your turn.
My turn.
Oh, wait, we got to.
No, it's just as easy if I charge ahead right
What's the
away.
deal here? Is he going to do the next
Yeah,
one?
let him do this.
It gives me further additional great pleasure to remind you and come straight to the point the American way that there are three things that cannot be bought with money: love, respect, and trust. To you and through you, we extend the best love, respect, and trust from this organization of fratres to and through you to your fratres in the United States.
Thank you.
Here, here.
And you want a response to all that?
Sure.
Ladies, my brethren, Washington is a moment in time. If you haven't been there, you need to come.
Right.
You know, I was trying to remember when somebody fed you a line, Tony.
Did they?
Yes, you were in my suite. I remember you well because you kept standing next to the bottle of scotch.
Well, I don't drink them.
And this is the story you tell your wife.
Technically.
Technically, I see. But we have a good time. We have a lot of hospitality suites. There's a lot of Masonic business that gets conducted during Masonic Week in Washington, D.C. And we have had a good time. We always do. I can't tell you, this is a special occasion. You know, when we're all drawn to here for a common purpose. I liked your toast, and I thank you very much for it, especially to our society. And you're absolutely correct in what you say. My grandfather used to say that there's only three things in life you can trust: a good dog, an old wife, and ready cash. And I thought about that.
Did that order?
That was the order my grandfather gave it to me. I don't know what he really thought. But it is truly an honor and a privilege to be with you. This is one of those special moments in time that probably will only happen once in a lifetime. I've certainly enjoyed visiting with each of you. I've enjoyed the warmness that I've seen portrayed here. I've enjoyed finally meeting John. John and I have been through the wars together. John got me into the war.
You got me out of it.
Well, actually, my predecessor got us into the war. And I'm reminded, we have an old Supreme magazine. You probably remember Jimmy Wilson.
Yep.
Jimmy Wilson
1995.
is from a place in Texas called Floydada, Texas. Have you ever heard of the Permian Basin? The Permian Basin is where the oil is in Texas. It's flat as a pancake. It's on the west side of Texas, and there's absolutely nothing there but oil under the ground. Now, Jimmy is one of those people that is like the grandpa you always wanted. You know, some of us had some really special grandfathers, but I mean, once you meet Jimmy Wilson, Jimmy is like, God, if I could have had a grandpa like Jimmy Wilson, I just thought that I'd have died and went to heaven. Nice, kind man. Kind. Honorable. When you look at Jimmy Wilson, trust is something that is automatically there. You know him, Tony.
Yes.
There was a discussion going on at one of the appended organizations going back 10 years ago. I remember not where or when. And there was quite a discussion about money. Money is the foundation of a lot of problems and a lot of issues. And Jimmy Wilson said something that I never forgot. And it was simply this: we just need to do what's right. We just need to do what's right. And you know, that was such a clarity and such a clean remark. If you carve away all the politics, if you carve away all of the peripheral stuff that is not important, if you just remember we just need to do what's right. We talked a lot today about upstairs, about building our inner selves. And how do you know what's right? Well, God put that little voice right in your heart that'll tell you. When you start to do something wrong, you kind of get that feeling like, ooh, I really ought to be doing this. But if you're doing it right, you got that good feeling deep down inside that it's right. And I tell you what, I am so glad I came here. This was the right thing to do at the right time with the right group. And I tell you what, of all the things that I've been fortunate enough to be a part of over the last 20, 25 years of my life, this is going to be one of those special days, that special moment in time, if you will, that I'll talk about for a long time. This may be my story for months. It may be my story when you come to see us in Washington. And Tony will show you where the suite is.
The Grandmaster Suite.
Hell, he didn't know whose suite it was. He found the scotch. Now I'm telling you, Niall, it didn't matter whose it was. It was free booze.
This
It was
is the
good
secret
booze.
life of Anthony J. Elmer.
Now, talking about that suite, we've always had a suite in Washington. I had my good friend Gary Herman. You remember the one that smoked the cigar?
Vaguely, yes.
Yeah.
It was a
Chief
little bit-
Adept from Illinois. I'm in New Mexico. New Mexico doesn't have a lot going on there. It's a small Masonic state. I'm representing our grand encampment there. I'm sitting there, and this great big guy gets up, and he's going to introduce me. And he says, and I'd like to introduce Brother William Kuhn, who's all the way here from Ohio. Now, he says he doesn't know that I'm going to tell you this, but he says, I want you to know he has a suite at the Hotel Washington in Washington, D.C., and he says he always buys the finest scotch. He always buys the finest bourbon. He has gin that is of the first quality. He said, this man runs a bar second to none. He says, I'm telling you, we ought to make
That's where the name comes from. Just these
Yeah, I'm very happy. It's just noises coming through.
And yeah, the woman who's doing the chanting